Okay, so you've gone through your checklist and you're ready, right? You're all ready. You got your first customer booked. And now it's time to hand over them keys. You do have a second key, right? Because you will need a second key. Okay, I'm gonna go through what you can expect because I know you're apprehensive. I know it's hard to hand them keys over the very first time. What you need to know is Turo has got you covered. I'm gonna go over what happens in case there's a ticket, in case your customer gets a ticket or goes through a toll and the ticket comes later. I'm gonna go over what happens if there's an accident, what you would do to file a claim. You're not gonna worry, right? Because there have been so many customers and so many hosts before you. Up to this point, Turo's been doing this. They got you. They got this handled. All kinds of incidents have arose and they have gotten it all figured out. So you could be at ease that this is gonna go smoothly. It's kind of inevitable that some tickets are gonna be gotten. It's okay. It may be a ticket at the meter, or it may be that somebody was going above the speed limit and they got one of those photo tickets, and that might not come in the mail till like 3 weeks later. It's fine. There is a procedure in place to handle that. We're gonna go through it right now. Okay, so this is how the reimbursement tool works. It says you can use it for invoicing guests for eligible incidental costs. Now, these costs include fuel, in case they don't bring the car back with the gas filled up. Additional distance driven. They're given 200 miles a day if they go over that. Tickets, tolls, fees for violations of the cleaning or the smoking or the pet policies. Then how you submit the tool. I'll show you that in a second, but you want to tap the charge for incidentals button. You have 72 hours after the trip ends to submit this invoice, but you also have 90 days to invoice the guests for tickets and tolls. And then you upload a photo of the ticket. Or once you submit that invoice, the guest has 48 hours to either pay it or dispute it. And sometimes you don't hear anything back. I have not heard anything back before, like they didn't see the email or they ignored it, and that's fine. Because then what happens is you can escalate it to customer support. What happens then is they review the photos that you uploaded and they make a determination, and then Turo will be the one to pay you out. I don't know what happens on the back end as far as how maybe they just charge the card on file of the guest. I don't know how that side works, but I've always gotten paid out for a ticket, and you receive 100% of the amount that you put in. So this is what a payout will look like. It'll say your guest Jeremy has accepted the reimbursement invoice. Your account will be credited with the amount due. And this ticket was $100 and he paid $100. So if there's an incident where you need to report damages or report an accident, you would come to your picture, so you're already signed in. Go to contact support. There is a direct phone number. I would have to look for that. I don't know what it is by offhand. Here it is. I was able to Google it. But anyway, you come here, you type in reporting, or some variation of looking for something to do with the accident. So now notice you want to click on the right one. There's UK guests. There's reporting and resolving damage for US guests. Then there's US host. Then there's UK host. And so I'm going to go here to US host. And here you can see there's 2 ways to resolve. So you pick the resolution path. You must report the damages no more than 24 hours after the trip ends to start the process. Damage reports received past this deadline may not be eligible for coverage. Let's see, when you report, damage, you must provide photos of the damaged area taken no more than 24 hours before the trip start and no more than 24 hours after the trip end. So that's those pre-trip photos. You need that unless you have this Turo Go host. Turo Go is like the remote, the way you operate without actually being there in person. So you're able to unlock the car remotely and the person picks it up. And so therefore you wouldn't be there to take the pre-trip photos. So therefore they would waive right here. We waive the post-trip photo requirement in case of mechanical damage or if your car was towed or otherwise unavailable for you to photograph. We waive the pre-trip photo requirement if you're a Turo Go host. Okay, so you just read through all of this. And then, number one, you can resolve directly with your guest. Number two, you can file a claim for Turo to manage it. Here under guest, you hit report damage, and then you start the process just like that. And then likewise, if it's host, you just click host, switch it over to host, and then hit the same thing, report damage. So that's what you would do to get the claim started right away. And if you need help, go right to contact support and then come down to the help key. And then it says, are you a guest or a host? So you would click host. And then where do you need help? So I'm in the US. And then how can we help? So then you type your question. And so if you just put in accident claim to contact Turo, email is here. You claims@turo.com. This is where the pre-trip photos come into importance. So you would have taken these pre-trip photos before the trip. So they would have the before picture, and now you have the after picture. So you would upload as many angles as you can in, good lighting to support the claim. And then you just wait for them to reach out to you. So they'll reach out to you and you'll speak to a person. A person will call you, and then you'll be able to talk through it, all the steps and what should happen next. But what really finally winds up happening is that person has a deductible that they would have to pay, which is probably $250 on the insurance that they took out with Turo. And so that $250 will go towards the damages, and they would send you, they have shops that they've already contracted with to give estimates. So they know roundabouts of how much this damage claim is going to be for your particular model, your car, your year. And so from there, they would estimate that it's going to be $350. Okay, $350 is what we're going to settle at. And then the person would have to pay the $250 out of their deductible, and then you are left with $100. So then Turo would then send you $100 so that you're made whole, and you can just pay the shop to fix it. Here's a tip. So in order for you to get more bookings, if you're not in your immediate inner city area where people will most likely be looking, you can actually make that your home area. I'm going to show you how to do that too. So this way, if you live in the suburbs of your city and you might think that maybe people are not really looking in that area, you don't have to make that your home location for your car. You can make it the most popular area where people will be likely to look. You just have to meet them at that location because that's where they'll be expecting to pick up the car. Okay, to set your location for a specific area like the middle of your city, you would come to host drop down, and from here we want to pick the vehicles. And then if you have more than one car, you select that one. I just have one, so I will hit this. And from here, we want to go into location and delivery. And we'll come over to the right and you'll see you have the option for home location. This is not my house. This is a shopping center near me. So you can put in whatever you want here that you think, would get the most, it would come up in the radius when people are searching. So if you happen to live on the outskirts in your city, then this home location should be someplace that's in the middle of the city. So for example, if it's Atlanta, right? You're in the suburbs of Atlanta. Let's say you're in Stone Mountain. You can set your home location to be in Buckhead because people would probably be looking in Atlanta, in the heart of Atlanta, more so than they would be looking in Stone Mountain. And then your delivery locations, this could be whatever. Mine happens to be a hotel that's in the middle of the city by the Capitol, and then I have the airport. So you would just figure out what works for you. I just learned that Kayak is showing Turo vehicles. So we're on Kayak now. I put in Washington, D.C., and I just pick random dates here. Search. So they show cars from budget, and then look thrifty, and then look Turo. So we hit that, and it takes us right over to the Turo site. Now let's try another city. Kayak. Let's try Miami. Change the dates to Thanksgiving week. Search. Turo. Takes you right over to the Turo site. That's kind of cool. So now that opens up the market for more showings of our vehicles. Those are my tips, guys. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button. Thank you.